Hi, welcome to Ladies of Another View on Beck. We have an exciting show today. Coming up a little later in the show, we're going to have Carolyn Grimes, and she's the actress who played Zuzu, the little girl in It's a Wonderful Life movie. She's the only still existing, still alive cast member from the movie. So first, though, we're going to take a look at some topics of the day, and we'd like to take a look at what happened on The View so we can give another view. I have with me today Renee, Carmen, and as always, Mary. So our first topic is about the vaccine and the White House. There's a little bit of controversy on a number of different issues as far as Trump and the White House staff receiving the vaccine, because it came up today that some people feel that he should go first. He needs to be an example. He needs to let everybody know it's safe. Other people say, well, you know, we wouldn't have had all this trouble if it wasn't for him not dealing with this fast enough, and he should not have any priority compared to the regular simple folk. And the fact that he already had COVID, there's another topic at hand, is why should he have to get the vaccine again if he already had it? So there's a lot of different aspects as far as the White House and Trump needing to get the vaccine. And I just want to say, I don't care if you're the president, I don't care if you're a janitor or a teacher. I think it's your body, and you need to decide whether you get the vaccine or not. I already had COVID. I'm not getting the vaccine, and I don't want anybody to tell me that I need to get the vaccine. So what do you guys think on this?
Well, I think nobody should take products where the company is not trustworthy enough to have products that they're liable for. And of course, we know that there's no liability with this product. And we have, right off the bat, we have 6 people dying in these tests. Australia just pulled it because they're getting false positives of HIV. I mean, this is a very scary product. I was just looking at the completion date for the study of this product, and January 29, 2023 is when the completion date is for the placebo-controlled randomized study. So basically, everybody getting this product, you are a guinea pig. That's the way it is.
Wow. And that's really something. And, you know, I thought it was interesting today how they kind of changed the game plan. You know, Trump is still stupid. We know that. They're not going to let up on that one. But, you know, now it's because he's not taking that vaccine right away, because the White House issued a statement saying they're not frontline workers, they don't believe, and they need that vaccine to go to other people. Be it right or wrong, whether it's going to be effective or good for people, the bottom line is that was their statement. However, the gals on The View said, no, Trump just likes to put doubt on everything for the whole population of this country. That's all he's trying to do, because he just wants to protect his power. And that's so misleading and so false from what their statement was, you know. And then they said he doesn't believe in science. Well, I mean, come on. There's just so many contradictions. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was interesting because, you know, as they were developing this vaccine, at first they said, you know, he's got to take it. And all of a sudden he backed off and said, you know what? I don't need to take it. Why don't we let other people take it? And now they're saying, wait a minute, if he doesn't want to take it, maybe we shouldn't take it. That's kind of where I think they're going. It's like, well, if he's not going to take it, maybe we shouldn't take it. And so Sonny had said President Trump needs to take it on air so people believe it. It's like, you know what? I'm not taking it whether President Trump takes it or not. And I think there's a lot of people in my shoes, getting back to what Renee said. It's like, I'm not going to be a guinea pig for a vaccine that they know nothing about. Mm-hmm. And if other countries are pulling it, people are dying. You know, you also have to remember that they take the healthiest of the healthy to do a vaccine study. So it's not like these are weak, you know, people that have illnesses. You have to go through a lot of screenings before you can be tested for these different vaccines. And so if the super healthy people are dying from it, I'm saying, let's wait.
Agree.
Yeah.
You know, another aspect, they had a doctor on, head of a public health department. I'm sorry I didn't catch the college that he was at.
Browns. Browns University.
Browns University.
University.
And they were talking about, are we going to get back to a new normal? How's it going to look? And he said, well, maybe by summer and maybe never. Maybe when we go to concerts, we always should wear masks. No. I think we need to have our immune systems back in gear. And one thing I wanted to say, like, as we go through and different people are getting vaccines, like in my extended family, everybody is planning on getting the vaccination because some people just do that. But just like if you get the flu, nobody said, oh, you got the flu, you should also get the vaccine. Like, that's never a topic of conversation. I just don't think it should be this time around too. And as far as what is it going to look like, the new normal, I don't know. I'm hoping this is all going to go away, but I hope that every day I wake up. What do you guys think is going to happen?
Well, this doctor you're speaking of, I took notes on all the interesting phrases he used. He said this: we don't know, it's complicated, I think, pretty confident, light at the end of the tunnel, vaccines, life will get better, safe, and trust. These are all these vaccine manufacturers are convicted felons. Most people don't know that. They've all been convicted of felonies.
What
So,
type of felonies? I guess I hadn't
fraud,
heard.
that's a whole nother show, but they're all convicted felons. Manufacturers are exempt from all liability. He said the black population, there's a long history of fraud, and them being used as guinea pigs. So he addressed that. 16 and older cannot take the vaccine. It's not safe enough, okay? He said this: not a lot of data. We need to study it. Hold off if you have allergies. You can return back to normal when you get the vaccine. Wear a mask in public, even when you're vaccinated. It's going to be really bad in the next 6 to 8 weeks. Why is that? Why is it going to be really bad in the next 6 to 8 weeks? You know why? Because all these people getting vaccinated, we're going to see a tsunami of scary health issues happening, and they're going to probably blame it on us, the unvaccinated.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I took away too. It's kind of setting it up so that if this doesn't go right, it's going to be the fault of all the people who have said they're not going to get vaccinated, that are not going to buy into the vaccine. It's too soon. There's not enough known about it. And some of the things that you referred to, Renee, I kind of went into the same thing. It was, even if it's, even this Dr. J sounded really iffy if he was going to have his kids take it. Come April, May, he figures it'll be available for them, due to allergies, and because they really don't know, what exact allergies, and, and then, 75 to 80% of us must be vaccinated for this to work. Well, where do they come up with that number? And again, I think they're setting up the people who are saying no so that they'll have a scapegoat.
Well, and when you look at the people that are getting vaccines, it's just like, look at our bench right here. 3 of us have had it for sure that we know of, okay? There are more people that I know that haven't had it than have had, or excuse me, there are more people that I know in my circle that have had it rather than not had it. So for the most part, we're building our immune system right here. And like I said, 75% on this panel has had it.
Yep, right. And we're all alive.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yes, yeah. So, okay. We're going to talk about in the next segment, we're going to talk about lockdown fatigue and the fact that people aren't ready for this second round of lockdowns and what's happening with that. So we'll be right back after these messages with Ladies of Another View on Back.
Capital City Restaurant Supply is your one-stop shop for quality restaurant products for the large to small kitchens. Commercial-grade restaurant and bar supplies, limb game processing equipment, refrigeration, dinnerware, and smallware. We sell everything including the kitchen sink from trusted manufacturers for the chef and all of us. Open to the public since 1971, we are veteran-owned and North Dakota proud. Let us take care of your restaurant and home kitchen needs today by visiting us at 1414 Interstate Loop in Bismarck or on the web at capitalcityrestaurantsupply.com.
Hi, I'm Dennis Haugen, along with my sons Andy and Mike, and we're showing our support for wind energy in North Dakota.
Wind energy has provided farmers like us with a steady stream of income that's not tied to the weather like crops and cattle are.
Another bonus is that wind farm owners are required to maintain the roads leading up to the turbines. Because of that, oftentimes these roads are the best in the county. Wind energy is good for landowners, it's good for the land, it's good for our economy, and it's good for North Dakota.
For the greatest selection and full menu offering is the Four Seasons Restaurant and Ice Cream Parlor in Garrison. Succulent sandwiches, big breakfasts served all day, and delicious desserts. Easy access in and out for campers and RVs. The Four Seasons Restaurant at the top of Main Street, Garrison.
Are you a thrill seeker, sightseer, or day tripper? The Ford Bronco Sport SUV is built for you. Fort Bears Casino is giving away a 2021 Ford Bronco Sport loaded with a ton of interior space, safari-style roof, smooth suspension for any terrain, and easy-to-clean surfaces. Qualify now just by playing your favorite slots at Fort Bears Casino. Double points on Sundays. Also get in on Super Senior Wednesdays, slot turning Thursdays, and hot seats on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Spin into Fort Bears Casino and Lodge for chances to win.
Some things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Back. In this segment, we're going to talk about the fatigue of lockdowns and that there's backlash. The first time around, I don't think everybody knew what we were dealing with and things shut down and there wasn't a lot of backlash. But this time, people are saying, I'm going to go out of business. I'm tired of not being able to go to church. We want to go back to school. No, that's what they're saying this time. And they're saying the science isn't backing up some of these decisions. So I'm going to start by talking about Governor Northam in Virginia. He's cracking down again, and he's saying only 10 people at worship services and other places too, other gatherings. 10 people in a big church isn't very much. And he also took the opportunity then to instruct people on how they can and should worship. For instance, saying that really God is everywhere and you don't need to go in a building. Okay, fine. Yeah, you can pray everywhere and anywhere. But worship service is about something more than that. It's about coming together as a community, getting support, praying together. There's power in that, in community prayer. And so for him to tell us it doesn't matter, and that he also called upon church leaders to set the example. So he's putting pressure on them not to go to church either. Just, stay out of those buildings and don't gather and don't pray together. And as a Catholic, there's the Mass that you can't replace. Yes, people that can't be in person, we can watch on air. You can watch Mass around the world now. They really have brought that up to a whole new level of being able to do that. But for the people that want to come in person and go to church, there's no replacement. And I don't know where you think there can only be 10 people in a building a size of a church and say that that's the only way we can be safe. But there's schools and businesses too. So I want to talk more about this.
The arrogance of government is astounding. I mean, I just look at this and it just blows my mind. In Minnesota, I was speaking with business owners last night and attorneys in Minnesota. And I tell you, it was heartbreaking to listen to these business owners talk about how they are losing their businesses. One of the business owner who's being sued by King George, Governor Walz, basically he's suing these business owners for not obeying unlawful decrees. And I'm proud of these people. I am proud of these owners that they are not sitting down and taking this. Anyway, one of the business owners, Jane Moss, she said, my business is going under one way or the other, And so she's basically going down fighting. Another business owner, she's a single mom of 4 children. And she said she has to take another job just to keep her business going. And here is a statement from another business owner who's been sued and has hefty fines. He says, "We've been fighting this fight since the beginning, watching what Governor Walz was doing as he was taking more and more of our liberties away." And he said that I was just in shock that people were going along with it. And I didn't understand why. Why are we going along with these unlawful and unconstitutional mandates from any governor, from any person in power? And just remember this, people, our rights come from God. They do not come from government.
Amen to that. You know, there's 2 high schools in the Diocese of Lansing, Michigan, that they've joined a lawsuit against the public health order of keeping schools open. You know, what they're saying is they're calling the order scientifically, educationally, and constitutionally basically unjustified. They've done all the protocols that the state has said they need to do in the school. They've done everything that they've been asked to do as far as safeguards, and yet still they're closed down. And they truly believe in the mission of their schooling is it's a community of students, and they build character, and they build all those things that people send their kids to private school to learn. And that's just being taken away. You know, we have a local school here that the kids are still going from distant learning. I mean, they're in school one day, out of school the next, learning at home. And the junior high and high school still can't get back to regular schedule. And yet they have 8 active cases out of 4,056 kids in K through 12. There's 8 active cases, and they can't go back to full-time school. That's just wrong on so many levels. The sports, everything. I mean, it all plays a part.
You know, Carmen, I think I read that same article on the 2 schools. I think, are they suing the state of Michigan? They are saying this isn't fair because we have been following all the protocols, and that anybody who has gotten COVID, it appears it came from the community, not from schools.
Right.
And so they're doing everything they're being told to do. The kids want to come to school. It's, you know, on every measurement, it's a better environment for learning for these kids. And then they're being told, no, we're going to shut down again. And they're saying, wait, you can't just do this to us.
Right.
You can't just decide this randomly based not on science, but I don't know what it's based on. Just like it looks good if we shut some things down again.
Yep, and keep postponing the date that will open.
Right.
Even though it shows that maybe the science of the kids not getting it doesn't matter. Where's the rate of how many kids have wound up in the hospital with COVID? Not, you know, from COVID, not just, you know, some other issue. And where's the stats for how many kids have recovered? Where do they, and then even that Dr. J today on The View said, we don't have a whole lot of information on the young population, on the kids. You know, we still need to gather that, which should take another couple of months. You've had almost a year, people.
Just remember this. This started with, you know, what was it, 15 days or 2 weeks to slow the curve, okay? And now we're looking at 9 months. This is not about a virus. It's never been about a virus. It's about them scaring you into giving up your rights. And as Thomas Jefferson said, it is, if a law is unjust, a man is not only right to disobey it, he is obligated to disobey it. That our founders warned us of this, and we need to understand that the government needs to know their place. They are not the master, they are the servant of us.
You can't help but wonder if there's an ulterior motive. It's like, is it because they don't want people to gather together? They don't want you to go to church? They don't want you to go to restaurants and bars? They don't want you to go to sporting events? Is it because they think when too many people gather, not only in his name, but for any cause, that's how uprisings start. And so there's a lot of, on social media, there's a lot of stuff leaning that way. It's like They just don't want us to be able to sit around and visit and talk about issues like this. That's what their biggest fear is, that people are going to start getting angry and upset, and it's time for an uprising. And I'll be the first one in line.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I told everybody right from the get-go, because I've been involved in this vaccine fight for 38 years, I said, you're going to be able to take off the mask eventually and go back to normal when you get the vaccine. That is definitely one of the aspects of this. And again, we're talking about $1 trillion industry globally. They're going to try to force this on you. Very, very serious stuff going on, and people need to wake up.
Yeah,
The most disturbing, oh, go ahead. Did you want to say
Go
something?
ahead. Go ahead.
The most disturbing thing to me is that they're shutting places down, even with the bars and restaurants. You know, I suppose it's hard to measure it exactly, but they're saying you can't show that people are getting sick from this, and especially with the schools. There is no hospitalizations from the schools. There's hardly anybody getting sick, and the people that have gotten sick, it hasn't been from school. So, you know, I know people, for a lot of reasons, want to stop the spread, and there are people that have died and have gotten seriously ill. But just a minute here, because there's some other important things to consider, like people's businesses and livelihood and the well-being of our communities. So, okay, we're going to end there. I'm sure we'll talk about it again in the future. And in our next segment, we have Carolyn Grimes joining us, and she is Zuzu from the movie It's a Wonderful Life. We'll be right back after these messages on Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Jeez, what a mess. Look at that. There's roof stuff everywhere. It's so embarrassing. Ruins the neighborhood. Come on, humans. Let's get this fixed.
Don't let your roof go to the dogs. Call America's Best Contractors for your free estimate.
Need a new woof?
After checking with the rest, go with the best. America's Best Contractors. 258-2412. Online at americasbestcontractorsincorporated.com.
In southwestern and south central North Dakota, on any given day at any given moment, a Dakota Community Bank and Trust customer is logging in or signing on to do their online or mobile banking. We believe that community banking can blend both the past with down-home customer service in-house and the future with modern banking conveniences and technology for our customers anywhere, like here or here, all while honoring our long-standing tradition of community-first oriented banking here at Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
My wife was diagnosed with early stage Alzheimer's. We talked about it and we kind of decided we'd be a little bit proactive and try to start making provisions. So we started looking here, and Eventide worked out to be pretty much the perfect answer. I guess I didn't expect it to be so nice. The staff here were terrific. We enjoy it.
They say when the going gets tough, the tough get going. At OK Tire, we're here to keep you going. From Firestone tires and replacements to retreads and even Firestone tracks, we have you covered. Our certified Firestone experts are ready to get you back up and running, no matter if you're on site or in the field, saving you time and money. OK Tire, we keep the tough going.
Now is the best time to plan for your 2021 farm equipment needs. North Dakota-based Summers Manufacturing is currently offering early order savings. Take advantage of big savings on North America's broadest tillage line, including the Super Kohler Samurai and the innovative VRT Renegade, as well as the best built, best backed land rollers in the industry. Talk to your Summers dealer today or go to summersmfg.com to learn more about early order savings available on all Summers equipment.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. We have a special treat for you. Carolyn Grimes, who played the little girl, Zuzu. George Bailey, who was played by Jimmy Stewart. 6-year-old little girl in the Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life. Hi, Zuzu. Hi, Carolyn.
Hi.
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 Thank you for joining us today. You're just as cute as you were at 6 years old. Barely changed.
Oh my gosh. I don't know about that.
Okay, Carolyn, as Zuzu, you delivered one of the film's most memorable lines. Let's watch that little segment.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right.
We will never get tired of watching that and listening to that. I don't know anybody, Carolyn, who hasn't seen the movie, and probably 5 to 10 times. So what is a surprise to me that when this movie was released in 1946, December 20th, it bombed at the box office. What happened?
Well, actually, it wasn't a Christmas movie. Believe it or not, it was supposed to be released in March of 1947. And there was a problem with the Christmas movie that year, which was Sinbad the Sailor. It wasn't ready. So the studio came to Capra and they said, get this film ready, get it going, and it will be our Christmas movie. So it wasn't released, like you said, until December the 20th. And bingo, bingo, that was a bad thing. It was too late to be the Christmas movie. It was also right after World War II. People wanted to be entertained. They wanted to laugh. And It's a Wonderful Life is a bit of a dark movie. So that was another reason that it really wasn't successful when it came out. It was marketed incorrectly. It was marketed as a romantic comedy. What do you think? Not so much, it was pretty serious. So there was a lot of reasons why it wasn't successful, but it finally was. And what a wonderful jewel it was. The copyright wasn't renewed in the early 70s, so it became public domain. And that's how we got exposed to the film on TV. Over and over and over back in those days.
Wow.
It was a great discovery.
Carolyn, thanks for being on the show. We are honored. That's one of my favorite shows. I watch it at least one time a year. You were so young in this film. Do you remember anything about the movie or working with Jimmy Stewart?
Oh, sure. I'd already done 4 movies, so it was, just another job. But I was so fascinated with the snow on the set because in Hollywood, it doesn't snow. So I'd never seen snow before. And I was pretty excited about that. And it was a fun set. It was not a lot of stress. And that was always good. There were other kids in the movie, so I got to play with them. There were so many reasons why it was a great time for me. And I remember especially the huge Christmas tree because I was an only child. And my Christmas tree was on a table. It was that small. So for me to see this huge tree up right next to me, oh, wow, it was pretty exceptional. And actually, there might have been an ornament missing.
And do you still have that ornament that might have gone missing?
I don't know. You might find it somewhere around here.
Lost and found?
Well, and I have this wonderful autographed picture from the show, and I'm so glad I have it, and I haven't framed it, but it's going into a frame, and I didn't want to bring it in a frame, so here it is, and it's signed by you, and thank you. Yeah, I just, I wondered, by age 15, you were your acting career was done. Why was that? What happened?
Well, when I was 8, my mother started getting sick. And then when I was 14, she died. And then my father got killed a year later when I was 15. And the court in Hollywood thought I would be better off in a little town in Missouri with 800 people. I'd gone to LA high school. There were 900 kids in my class. In this little town, there were 30 kids in my class. So it was quite a culture shock. But that's how I got out of Hollywood, and I ended up living with my father's brother and his mean wife. So I had quite a few years of learning about life, and I think it prepared me for life very well. My parents had given me a good foundation, and I was able to cope with whatever came my way, and I still am. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Wonderful.
So I know you were raised Baptist. Well, first of all, I'm so sorry that your life took on that series of events. But I think God puts us in a place where we need to be when we need to be there. But you were raised Baptist. Did your faith help you through those hard times when you were a young girl?
Oh, absolutely. I was 6 years old, and when I did It's a Wonderful Life, and I was raised in the Baptist church, and my mother and father were very, very religious. There was no alcohol in our home. There was no smoking. I was raised to believe that God will help you through anything. And I was singing in the adult choir when I was 8 years old.
Oh,
I had a really good, I guess, fellowship with the people in the church. And I went to Baptist grade school. So I really got a good foundation to carry me through whatever life throws my way, because I know that God's there to pick me up and put me back on my feet and send me off again. And no matter how many times that you come in contact with these hardships in life, which everyone does and will, you bounce back like a little toy doll, bing, bing on it. You just come back because you believe and you have the foundation to know that it will get better. And that's one of the things that I love about the movie, It's a Wonderful Life, because it gives you hope. And it makes you realize that you really are an important person, and that you do touch lives, and that you make a difference. And to me, that's a wonderful message, and I think that's why people love the movie so much.
You know, Carolyn, we only have another minute before break, but I interviewed you for an article, and speaking about the message from the movie, the community gathered and supported you in your real life, just like not exactly like in the movie, but they became a very important part of your life, giving you support and hope and love, because they knew you had a difficult time at home, right?
It's really true. They knew that this little small town knew what a situation I'd been dumped into in a home, and they rallied around me. They gave me love. They gave me help. They were just wonderful. The merchants, my teachers. I can go on forever in this little town, and it was just a remarkable thing. Osceola, Missouri. They were wonderful to me, and they really helped me realize that I could get through this, and that I would, and I did. But they were a great part in making me realize that life was worth living, because that first year I wasn't too sure. But yes.
What an important message. Because wherever we are, we should be looking for these little Carolyns wherever they are in the world.
Yeah.
Carls and Carolyns wherever, and to realize that there's a lot of people that our love and support and affirmation can make such a big difference in their lives. So, okay, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk some more with Carolyn Grimes, who played Zuzu in the movie It's a Wonderful Life. We'll be right back with Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Howdy folks, it's the Caroline Cafe. I reckon it's time you're due for a hearty meal. So saddle up for the day with one of our Hey Boston breakfast homemade soups. Fill your grill at our salad bar, sink your teeth into our famous Caroline burger and barbecue ribs. Top it off with spoon rattling pie with a comb roll that's sure to put a smile on even the toughest outlaws. Shake the dirt off the boots each night and warm up with the gang. Tell them about it, Stacy.
I can't wait to see you at the county line.
Since opening in Hebron in 1940, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your hometown bank. Our mission has been to provide modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. We've grown with the communities we serve. through year-round events, countless sponsorships, and nearly 7,000 hours of volunteering each year. Learn more about our 80-year history at dakotacommunitybank.com.
Jeez, what a mess. Look at that. There's roof stuff everywhere. It's so embarrassing. Ruins the neighborhood. Come on, humans. Let's get this fixed.
Don't let your roof go to the dogs. Call America's Best Contractors for your free estimate.
Need a new woof?
After checking with the rest, go with the best. America's Best Contractors. 258-2412. Online at americasbestcontractorsincorporated.com.
For the greatest selection and full menu offering, it's the Four Seasons Restaurant and Ice Cream Parlor in Garrison. Succulent sandwiches, big breakfasts served all day, and delicious desserts. Easy access in and out for campers and RVs. The Four Seasons Restaurant at the top of Main Street, Garrison.
Are you a thrill seeker, sightseer, or day tripper? The Ford Bronco Sport SUV is built for you. Four Bears Casino is giving away a 2021 Ford Bronco Sport loaded with a ton of interior space, safari-style roof, smooth suspension for any terrain, and easy-to-clean surfaces. Qualify now just by playing your favorite slots at Four Bears Casino. Double points on Sundays. Also get in on Super Senior Wednesdays, slot turning Thursdays, and hot seats on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Spin into Four Bears Casino and Lodge for chances to win.
Some things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. And we, in the last segment, we're going to continue in this segment. We've been talking with Carolyn Grimes, who played 6-year-old Zuzu in the movie It's a Wonderful Life, with Jimmy Stewart was her dad. And let's look at this short little clip again with Jimmy Stewart and Carolyn as Zuzu.
Now, will you do something for me? What? Will you try and get some sleep?
I'm not sleepy. I want to look at my flower.
I know, but you just go to sleep. And then you can dream about it. And it'll be a whole garden.
It will.
I love that. I just get goosebumps watching your scenes, Carolyn. You know, we talked a little bit the last segment that you had some difficulties in your life. Both your parents had died by the time you were 15, but also you were married, and you and your second husband brought children together into the marriage, and then you had 2 more children. You had 7 children together. And when your youngest was a teenager, he committed suicide. And up until that point, you were this spirit that you just kept rising above everything. But that was really hard for you. Can you talk about that time and maybe help some other parents who've gone through that kind of suffering?
That was the hardest time in my life, without a doubt. It still is. It'll always be with me. But I think that what really helped me was the fact that I was involved with his school, and he went to an all-boys Catholic high school. And I felt like that was a part of our family. And I worked with a priest there, and he was just the best. He was like a dad to me. And I felt like he helped me get through this more than anything else. And he gave me the faith that I needed to once again ask for help to heal my soul and my family, and to to try to go on with life the best that we could and try to make a difference to other people who've gone through the same thing and still are. It's a much worse thing than it used to be back when he died. There's many, many more. Kids are suffering so much, and for whatever reason, the parents, they just have to go into their own selves and find their strengths and look to God and say, I need help. And God will be there. He will show you the way. And that's what he did for me. He gave me the opportunity to go back and give of myself. And I think that is one of the biggest secrets, is when you have lost someone you love very much, giving of yourself, whether it's to sing in a group for old folks' homes, whether it's to volunteer to help with the children at a hospital, volunteering and giving of yourself in some way, it heals you. It makes you feel worthy, and it just gives you hope. And that's the secret to healing from something that's so tragic as suicide in your family.
Carolyn, thank you for sharing that. I am in total agreement. I feel like you're a kindred spirit already. Like I could just sit down and have a cup of coffee with you and we would totally hit it off. I was really surprised to read that you didn't see the movie Wonderful Life until 40 years later. Can you tell me, like, why did it take you that long to see the movie, and what was your impression after 40 years?
Well, when I left Hollywood, I left it there. There was no kind of a life like that where I lived, and you just forgot about it. It was a child thing that you did, and so I grew up in the now, so to speak, and I really didn't think about those days in Hollywood because I wasn't Hollywood anymore, and I had 7 kids. I lived in the car, the laundry room, and the kitchen. That was my life. And so maybe at night I would watch a little bit of Johnny Carson, but I didn't watch TV. And so therefore, it just wasn't something that I felt like I wanted to put on my kids to watch a movie I was in when I was a child. I don't know. My mother brought me up to feel like you shouldn't be prideful. And I sort of kind of carried that with me. And I thought, I guess in my mind, that years later, if they wanted to catch up with those movies, they could and see me as a child. But I didn't want to force anything like that on my kids. So I just never did watch it. And then somebody knocked on my door in 1980 and they said, were you that little girl that was in the movie? And I said, well, yeah, I was. And they said, well, can we have an interview? And I said, sure. So we had an interview. We did that. And then another one. And then pretty soon I started getting fan mail. And I thought, what in the world is going on? And so I thought maybe I better sit down and watch this movie. So I did. And I realized what a magical movie and what great power this film really had. And so that's when I made my decision that I would be a proponent for this film, and I'd go on the road and I would be there for many years. And I've been on the road for 30 years. So when I first went on the road, it was in 1993 with the Target company. And people would line up and they would tell me the stories of how this movie had affected their lives and made a positive difference. That to me made it worthwhile for all that I was doing. And I still get that sort of thing in emails and, on Facebook, social media now. It's much easier for people to communicate. And I just feel blessed that I was a part of this film.
Oh, that is so beautiful. And I couldn't help thinking as you were just talking that you're still being, you're giving of yourself. And when you talked about that's such a key to healing and such a key to, when you give, so much comes back that you never even expect, and yet it fills you. And that's a beautiful part of life. And it's just so nice to be reminded of that, especially this time of year. But you've become an unofficial ambassador, really, for this film, and It's a Wonderful Life. And how has the movie impacted your life in that regard?
Well, it has put me on the road, and I've got to meet so many wonderful people, and they give me all this love. Well, you can't help but blossom and flourish from that. So it's a great gift to me that God has given, made possible for this to happen. And I have the opportunity to give back to the people that I see, the fan mail that I get, all this sort of thing. It's just a wonderful circle of love and giving. And that's what It's a Wonderful Life is all about. It's about how you touch lives. Jimmy Stewart, as George Bailey, was a giving soul, and he lived the life of George Bailey. He was George Bailey in real life. And I can use him as a good example for someone who gave of himself for years and years, and people loved him, and he made a difference. He made a huge difference.
So I know we only have 1 minute left, but what do you think is the true spirit of Christmas?
Giving. Mm-hmm. Giving is the true spirit of Christmas. That's what it's all about. I know, as a child, you want all these gifts and things, but sometimes when children are little, take them to a nursing home or take them somewhere. Well, of course, you can't right now, but take them and let them have the opportunity to give a gift to a poor child, or help someone who needs help. And that's more of a reward and a gift than anything in the world at Christmas time. It's a community that comes together and celebrates a holiday of giving and loving.
You truly are an ambassador for It's a Wonderful Life, because the message continues. That was the message of the movie. That's the message you're giving to us. Thank you. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much.
I wish we could have you on for another half an hour, but Carolyn is going to be coming to Bismarck next year. I'll talk a little bit more about that. Let everybody, all the viewers know about that. But thank you, Carolyn. Merry Christmas to you.
Patty, don't you have something to share?
Oh, yes. This is autographed by you.
Yeah.
And it's autographed by you, too. I don't know if we have this in the camera. Yeah, there we go, the little bell.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're giving angels their wings.
Yeah,
there you go.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll be right back on Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Howdy, folks. It's a Caroline Cafe. I reckon it's time you're due for a hearty meal. So saddle up for the day with one of our Hey Bossin breakfast homemade soups. Fill your grill at our salad bar. Sink your teeth into our famous Caroline burger and barbecue ribs. Top it off with spur rattling pie with a calm roll that's sure to put a smile on even the toughest outlaws. Shake the dirt off the boots each night and warm up with the gang. Tell them about it, Stacy.
I can't wait to see you at the county line.
Hi, I'm Dennis Haugen, along with my sons Andy and Mike, and we're showing our support for wind energy in North Dakota.
Wind energy has provided farmers like us with a steady stream of income that's not tied to the weather like crops and cattle are.
Another bonus is that wind farm owners are required to maintain the roads leading up to the turbines. Because of that, oftentimes these roads are the best in the county. Wind energy is good for landowners, it's good for the land, it's good for our economy, and it's good for North Dakota.
Capital City Restaurant Supply is your one-stop shop for quality restaurant products for the large to small kitchens. Commercial-grade restaurant and bar supplies, limb game processing equipment, refrigeration, dinnerware, and smallware. We sell everything including the kitchen sink from trusted manufacturers for the chef in all of us. Open to the public since 1971, we are veteran-owned and North Dakota proud. Let us take care of your restaurant and home kitchen needs today by visiting us at 1414 Interstate Loop in Bismarck or on the web at capitalcityrestaurantsupply.com.
My wife was diagnosed with early stage Alzheimer's. We talked about it and we kind of decided we'd be a little bit proactive and try to start making provisions. So we started looking here, and Eventide worked out to be pretty much the perfect answer. I guess I didn't expect it to be so nice. The staff here were terrific. We enjoy it.
They say when the going gets tough, the tough get going. At OK Tire, we're here to keep you going. From Firestone tires and replacements to retreads and even Firestone tracks, we have you covered. Our certified Firestone experts are ready to get you back up and running, no matter if you're on site or in the field, saving you time and money. OK Tire, we keep the tough going.
Now is the best time to plan for your 2021 farm equipment needs. North Dakota-based Summers Manufacturing is currently offering early order savings. Take advantage of big savings on North America's broadest tillage line, including the Super Coulter Samurai and the innovative VRT Renegade, as well as the best built, best backed land rollers in the industry. Talk to your Summers dealer today or go to summersmfg.com to learn more about early order savings available on all Summers equipment.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Back. We've been talking with Carolyn Grimes, and who was Zuzu in It's a Wonderful Life, the Christmas movie. And so for the lighter side, I want to keep talking about it. I just love it so much, and she was a beautiful guest. And this is a big surprise. She's going to be coming to Bismarck next Thanksgiving. She was supposed to be here this past one, but because of COVID, they canceled it. And Zurell's Jeweler is going to be bringing her to Bismarck. She's going to come for an open house next Thanksgiving. And then she's going to appear at the Belmaeus Theater, have a question and answer period, and then they're going to show the movie, It's a Wonderful Life. So it's hard to put, in a little over a minute here, I just pulled out some of my favorite clips from the movies, from that movie, so let's watch.
Happy New Year to you! In jail! Go on home, they're waiting for you.
Well, hello, Mr. Bank Examiner. How, Mr. Bailey, there's a deficit. I know, $8,000.
George, I've got a little paper.
I'll bet it's a warrant for my arrest. Isn't it wonderful? I'm going to jail. Merry Christmas.
So many friends. Mary did it, George. Mary did it. She told some people you were in trouble, and they scattered all over town collecting money. Didn't ask any questions, just said, George in trouble. Tell me, idiot. What is this?
Another run on the bank?
Here, George. Merry Christmas.
Don't push. There we are. The line farms on the right.
Don't you love it? How could you not?
Yes.
But you know, why do we love it? Because it's the truth. It's what we experience. When you love others and when you give to others, it comes back tenfold. And so I want to talk about what's our favorite Christmas message or Christmas movie?
Boy, that's tough because that is definitely at the top of my favorite Christmas movies, but I might have to choose Little Women as my favorite because you know, that family, they're so poor and they just are so close. All the daughters are so close, and I don't know if you remember, but they're sitting down for their Christmas dinner and they finally have this feast. And then the mother reminds them that there's a family down the street that is, you know, very, very poor. So they pack up all the food and they take it to the neighbors to give it to them. The only thing I don't like about Little Women is I would have rewrote the Joe, you know, Joe and Teddy didn't get together. I think that Joe and Teddy should have got together, but I love that show.
Well, and I have to go with the one that every year we get together, all of my kids, and it's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It just has to be. You know, I don't know how many times I say it when they're around, if we're, you know, trying to get the meal on and stuff, and it's drum roll, Russ, you know, and then that's because it's time to get the table going, you know, or just, I don't know, Margot. That's one of the favorites for us. And so, I don't know, we just banter lines back and forth through the whole time that we're together. It's just fun.
I guess I'm with you, Carmen. That's our family favorite too. We always watch it Thanksgiving weekend. But so then last year during our Christmas meal, we said grace, of course, and then of course I let out, I pledge allegiance to the flag. So it was just, and then play ball. Yeah. So it's just so much fun. But I just think the season of giving is actually where it's at. You know, I think back to when we were kids. My favorite Christmas movies were the cartoons at night. So for anyone viewing, back in the day, there weren't cartoons 24/7. So we'd watch The Little Drummer Boy. It was always, you just cry through it, yet you knew it was going to happen every single time. Right. You knew what was where it was going.
Love
but just the season of giving, and there's a lot of people hurting out there right now. So if anybody can go and give, that just do what you can, where you can.
I wanted to say something we're doing this year that's maybe somebody might like to do. We usually have a Secret Santa because we have a big family that gets together, and instead of giving each other gifts, we're just going to ask everybody to give money, and we're going to take it to like the Amen Pantry or something like that. So
yes, yeah, just
good idea.
Yeah, that's definitely the theme of today is the more you give, the more you get. On tomorrow's show, we're going to have Dr. Brooke Miller coming once again. He's going to talk about ivermectin as a preventative measure against COVID. Because we've talked about so much about vaccines, well, how about preventing it? I think maybe that might be the better way to go. And we're also going to talk about, in terms of shutdowns and lockdowns, we're going to look locally. And Mary's going to be talking about what is happening on Bismarck. We've had some closings here when people being told to go home. This place is shut down. So we're going to hear about what's happening there, and we'll see you tomorrow on Ladies of Another View on Beck.